Tell me like the first memory of like the barber shop where you went and it was like the old step on like where you would go to get your haircut when you were a kid, or like when you first started having memories of like, man, I really like this place, or that haircut I got this time, like I feel good, that kind of vibe.
Yeah, so core memory that I have when it comes to barbering is just going to the barbershop with my dad. In my culture, being Puerto Rican and Dominican, my dad's Dominican, and in Dominican culture, everybody goes to the barbershops, like your dad, your granddad, the kids. You have a barber, most likely you go consistently. You visit the barbershop a lot. So growing up, I was definitely doing that with my dad. We had different barbers, and then we had this one barber named Danny. And to me, Danny was just such a vibe. Like, I don't know, at a young age, I really liked how, he would treat me and how he would carry himself and just the character that he was to the community and just who he was, his personality. He had a lot of style. He was a cool dude. So I really found that appealing, at a young age, and I thought it was just cool. And I also liked how I felt when I would get a haircut. Like, it puts you in your bag, like you feel like you're back again. Sometimes you go a little while without a haircut, you don't feel like yourself. So yeah, it got to the point where I liked going to the barbershop so much that I would go like twice a week, at the age of like 14, 13, 15. And my mom, eventually she was like, I can't keep paying for this. Like, you're going too much. So I had a little bit of money and I bought my first straight razor. And in my head, it was like, oh, I go to the barbershop all the time. I see how they do my cuts. I think I could do this because I would get a haircut and I would just be studying the barber when he was cutting my hair, like in the mirror. Any little chance I got that I could see like what they were doing, I was definitely analyzing it and absorbing it. So then I started like cutting my own hair and lining myself up. And then, fast forward, some time went on. I still wasn't like a barber or anything like that. I was just kind of like doing my lineups and stuff. Fast forward, I went to Walgreens with my mom, and in Walgreens, it's crazy how this ties into Wall as well. But at Walgreens, there was it was like a set. It was a VHS tape, a clipper, and I believe a trimmer. It was like a how to cut hair like kit, and it came with a videotape. This is back in the days when people used VHS. So I seen it at Walgreens, and I basically begged my mom, like, yo, can I have this? Can you get this for me? And she got it for me. And I remember that VHS, I watched it like hundreds of times. It was a super like basic video on how to use the clippers and how to do a fade. And I thought it was just so cool. Like, I loved it because this was before like YouTube and all of that stuff. Like, it wasn't easy to just learn how to cut hair. You had to like, if you were lucky enough to come across some type of videos, and that was great. But the way most people would learn when I first started was you would learn from the people around you in the barbershop. That's how a lot of people would get started back in the days. And then word of mouth and stuff like that, you build your clientele. But yeah, so those are some of the core memories from just like barbering when I first started, how I got into it.
What was the name of the barbershop? Do you remember?
Fuck.
You gotta remember.
You're asking me?
Yeah.
The first barbershop I worked at was Golden Scissors Salon, unisex salon. And the way I got into that, one day, so remember I bought the straight razor and I started doing cuts on myself, and eventually I had like I had gotten the VHS, the videotape with the clipper and stuff in the video, and eventually my dad kind of caught wind that I was like doing the haircuts on myself and I was kind of into it. So he asked me to cut his hair, and when I was cutting his hair, he said, do you like this barbering stuff, or you think you would like to do this? And I said, yeah, I feel like it's pretty dope. And he basically got me the first job at his brother-in-law's salon, which is called Golden Scissors Unisex Salon. And I got to work with stylists and barbers, and it was crazy because when I started, my Spanish wasn't, I spoke Spanish, but not on the daily. I was already used to American culture, so I was speaking a lot of English. But going there, I was forced to speak Spanish all the time because all the stylists and all the barbers and the girls that wash the hair and the nail people, they only spoke Spanish. They were all Dominican. And so it was definitely an experience. That's where I got like my start in the game.